Paper 4, 2021, January 2021, okay? So the first question says, in September 2019, the European Central Bank, ECB, decided to restart its quantitative easing program in the Eurozone area. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal, which one of the following is the most likely effect of this decision by the ECB for an economy in the Eurozone? A decrease in the money supply, a decrease in economic growth, an increase in unemployment, an increase in inflation. No, sorry. I cannot. I can pause as well, right?
No, you can't.
I can't.
It's camera.
Yeah, I can, but on my phone I can, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Let me start again. Wait, let me see. Yeah, there's pause. Look.
Okay.
Well, I have to start that again. Okay. We have economics. Sorry, I'm doing this again. Sorry, guys, I have to start again. We have economics. Paper 4, 2021, January. The first question says, in September 2019, the ECB decided to restart its quantitative easing program in the Eurozone area. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal, which one of the following is the most likely effect of this decision by the ECB for an economy in the Eurozone? A decrease in the money supply, a decrease in economic growth, an increase in unemployment, an increase in the rate of inflation. That's first question one. So now I have to swap. It can't swap, you know. No, the issue is it's paused, but
What if you open it again and swap?
open,
No,
right?
you can't swap, I think.
Yeah, open, right?
Yeah. You can't swap.
Then I can't swap.
Yeah, you can't swap.
No, I can't.
Mm.
Okay. I just have to do it the way it is, okay. So, okay, I know what to do. I have this here. For question one, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Okay, for question one, we have they said in September 2019, the Eurozone, the ECB decided to restart its quantitative easing program in the Eurozone area. Ceteris paribus, which one of the following is most likely effect of this decision by the ECB for an economy in the Eurozone? A decrease in the money supply, a decrease in economic growth, an increase in unemployment, an increase in the rate of inflation. If there is quantitative easing, it simply means what?
It means that the central bank is buying corporate bonds from the commercial banks to increase the money supply.
To increase money supply.
So A, which is decrease the money supply, defeats the whole purpose of quantitative easing. So it's wrong.
Okay. B, a decrease in economic growth.
No.
So there would rather be an increase in money supply than a decrease in money supply. So it's not A. B, a decrease in economic growth.
It would bring about an increase in economic growth.
So it's not B. C, an increase in unemployment.
No.
Quantitative easing would increase money supply. And if there's money supply increasing, if money supply is increasing, it simply means there's credit availability for firms. They would rather employ more workers because individuals will have more time, more money to borrow to. The demand for goods and services would increase. So that would rather increase employment than unemployment. So it's not C. An increase in the rate of inflation.
Yeah, so if there's quantitative easing, there's money supply in the banks, so there's availability of credit, so people are taking more loans out, so they would most likely consume more, and consumption brings about inflation.
So in a nutshell, quantitative easing would bring about increase in inflation rate.
Yeah.
It will not bring about increase in unemployment. It will not bring about increase in economic growth. It will not bring about increase in money supply, decrease in money supply. So the only option we have here that is correct is that quantitative easing, based on the fact that money supply would increase the demand for goods and services, leading to demand pull inflation. So inflation, the rate of inflation is expected to rise with quantitative easing, right? Question 1D. So question 1 is D. Go to question 2. Question 2, they said, which one of the following theories suggests that a savings gap is a constraint on growth and development? Before we go into that, what is saving gap?
Saving gap is difference between the saving ratio and the consumption ratio.
No,
So the difference between what you consume and what you save.
no.
I don't know.
Savings gap. Saving gap is the difference between the actual savings and the required savings to reach economic growth. Do you get what saving gap is here now? The difference between the actual saving within the economy and the required savings to reach economic growth. That is saving gap. So that is done. Okay. Now we have our Doma model. The our Doma model
Yeah,
talked
that's the
about
one
saving
that
gap.
talks about.
Saving gap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Lewis structural dual sector
I have
model.
no idea what
It's
it is.
about industrialization. Lewis gap is about industrialization. It talks more about the secondary sector of the economy. Lewis structural dual sector model. It talks more about the transition between the primary sector to the secondary sector. That is Lewis structural dual sector. Then we have the Marshall-Lerner condition. It talks about the balance of payment, exports, mostly about exports. So Marshall-Lerner talks about balance of payment current accounts. And we have the Prebisch single hypothesis. It talks about the primary sector, which is the dependency of the primary sector within an economy. So the Prebisch single hypothesis is about dependency of the extraction industry. I think it's clear. So we have Arodoma, which talks about the savings gap. We have Lewis structural dual sector, which talks about industrialization. And what is industrialization?
It's basically like
Industrialization.
man, it's like
The transition, I told
yeah,
you, the transition between
between the primary
the
sector
to
and
the
the
secondary
secondary
sector.
sector.
Or industrialization is simply the situation whereby a non-industrialized economy becomes industrialized. So that is industrialization. So according to question 2, the answer for question 2 is A. We go to question 3. Are you there? Okay. Question 3 says between June 2018.
In my mind, I'm
Yeah,
there.
on my mind, yes, because I have the paper here. Between June 2018 and October 2019, the Australian dollar fell by 7.4% against the US dollars. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal, which one of the following is the most likely impact of this depreciation on Australia's economy? So there's depreciation. And if there's depreciation, is it a floating exchange rate or fixed exchange rate? Floating exchange rate. So it simply means the Australian economy is running through the floating system, right? The floating system.
So the free market price mechanism.
Yes, free market. Yeah, that's free market. Okay. Now, depreciation of a currency, would it bring about a fall in the price of imports and a rise in the price of exports?
No, the opposite.
Depreciation will bring about a fall in the price of export and a rise in the price of imports. So that's why it's not A. B, an increase in public sector borrowing and increase in national debt.
No,
Why?
because when there's devaluation, everything becomes more expensive. So saving tends to be more attractive.
Savings with depreciation of your currency. I think here, because the country becomes more internationally competitive, it would rather reduce its national debt and reduce its borrowing. A country is now internationally competitive. It means more revenue for the country. So if there's more revenue, the country would rather pay up its debts and stop borrowing. Yes or no? So that's why it's not B. C, an improvement in the capital and financial account of the balance of payments. Why is it C?
C, because
Export is increasing.
exports are increasing and imports are decreasing.
So do you think if a country is more internationally competitive, it could attract foreign direct investment?
Yeah.
So if foreign direct investment is attracted, that means there's possibility for improvement in capital goods too.
Yeah, also an improvement in an appreciation in the exchange rate eventually.
Okay. So the answer is C. A decrease in the cost of borrowing and a decrease in the reward for saving. If your country, if there's depreciation of your currency, the value of your currency drops, does that decrease the cost of borrowing?
No.
A fall in exchange rate might as well bring about a fall in interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
A decrease in the reward for savings. A decrease in the cost of borrowing. What does that mean?
So basically, the interest rate is rising. A
A
what?
decrease in the cost of borrowing.
Oh, it's a fall in the interest rate.
A fall in interest rate. A decrease in the reward for saving.
Decrease in the reward for saving. And
What's the difference between a decrease in the cost of borrowing and a decrease in the reward for saving?
it's the same thing.
Really?
One is a reward and one is a cost.
If the cost of borrowing reduces,
Yeah.
does it allow you to save more? If
The
the interest rate falls,
yeah.
does it make you to save more?
Um,
If the interest rate is falling,
yeah.
does
No,
it,
you don't save more.
you don't save more, you save less. But in this situation, a fall,
Oh, it's contradicting.
it's not contradicting, this is the same. A decrease in the cost of borrowing, a decrease in the reward for saving is the same. About a fall in the value of an exchange rate would rather rather increase the interest rate. How? Because as soon as there's depreciation of a currency, the demand for that currency would rise based on exportation. And if the demand for a currency increases, the value of the currency rises. And that would rather bring about an increase in interest rates. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So a decrease in reward for saving is the same as a decrease in the cost of borrowing. So it's not D. So go to question 4. So the answer for question 3 is what? C, right?
Yep.
So go to question 4. Now question 4. Yeah, they said, okay, I stopped this video. Let's start another one. For question 4, I'm flipping the camera. Yeah, they said the chart shows the UK inflation rate as measured by the Consumer Price Index of UK nominal pay growth and annual percentage change between 2008 and 2018. Which one of the following can be deduced from this chart? So the pay growth not adjusted for inflation was lowest in 2009. In 2009, the adjusted is the lowest is in 2010, which is 1.5. The lowest is 2010, which is 1.5, which is 3.3 minus 1.8. It's around 1.5. In 2009, it's not the lowest because in 2009, it's around 2.8, which is 4.8 minus 2.2. That's 2.8. It's not the highest. It's not the lowest in 2009. I don't know what your answer is. You choose A, right?
Yeah.
2, they said pay growth adjusted for inflation was highest in 2015. In 2015, it's 3% in 2015. In 2015, it's 3%. So the answer is B, I think. Yeah. In 2015, the highest was 2015. Let me see again. In 2015, we have 3%, 3 and 0. That is 3% between 2015. In 2015, adjustment is 3%. 3 minus 0%, that's 3%. So the highest is B. So pay growth adjusted for inflation was highest in 2015. The answer is B. I'll check. They said disinflation occurred between 2016 and 2015. There's increasing rate of inflation between 2016 and 2017. Between 2016 and 2015, there's a rise in inflation rate. So it is not disinflation between 2016 and 2017. Then in 2012, they said deflation occurred between 2012 and 2014. Between 2012 and 2014, there's disinflation. 2012 to 2014, there's disinflation, which means there's a fall in the rate of inflation. So it is not D. So the answer for question 4 is B. Okay? It's B. That's wrong. Flip the camera. Okay. So for question 4 is B. Go to question 5. In 2019, are you with me?
Yeah.
Question 5. In 2019, they said in 2019, India's international competitiveness rank was 10 places lower than it was in 2018. Which one of the following is the most likely reason for this fall in India's international competitiveness? What does international competitiveness means?
It means how competitive are you in an
In the
international?
international market.
Yeah.
You're putting it backwards for me. International competitiveness simply means you have a competitive advantage over your trading partners
Mm.
in the international market. So don't use competitive, how competitive you are again for me. Okay. So they said India has fallen when it comes to international competitiveness. So what might be the reason why there's a fall in India's international competitiveness? One, a decrease in its inflation rate relative to other countries. If there's a decrease in inflation rate, what does that mean?
It's the economy is in recession.
So a country would not be less internationally competitive if it's having a low rate of inflation. It simply means prices will be affordable for foreign customers. So it's not A. B, a decrease in its unit labor cost relative to other countries. A decrease in labor cost means there's a fall in the cost of production, and that should allow India to be more internationally competitive. It's not B. A decrease in its labor productivity relative to other countries. What is productivity?
Productivity is it's like the overall.
Okay, I want the formula for productivity, please. Is that the formula? What is productivity? The formula for productivity?
um, Something divided by something, I think.
Something divided by something. Something divided by something is something. Output divided by the numbers of workers.
Yeah.
Productivity is what? Output divided by the numbers of workers. So if output relative to the numbers of workers is falling, it means the cost of production is expected to rise. And if the cost of production is increasing, that might make India to be less internationally competitive.
Yeah.
So the answer for question 5 is C. Question 5. Question 5 is C. A decrease in transportation cost. That will make India to increase its international competitiveness. So it's not D. So that takes us to question 6. For question 6, they said, oh, okay. Okay. For question 6, are you there? They said the table shows the maximum possible production of cars and lorries by country A and country B in a given year. Which one of the following can be deduced from this table? So there's a table here. There's a table. So the table shows the maximum possible production of cars and lorries by country A and country B in a given year. Country A has 40,000, can produce 40,000 cars or 20,000 lorries. Country B can produce 16,000 cars or 16,000 lorries. Which one of the following can be deduced from this table? Both countries will not benefit from specialization and trade. Country A has comparative advantage over country B in the production of cars and lorries. Country B has an absolute advantage over country A in the production of cars and lorries. Country B has a lower opportunity cost of producing lorries, whereas country A has a lower opportunity cost of producing cars. So we have a lot to say about this. So now, they said we have country A and country B. Which answer did you choose here?
D.
D. You tell me why it is D anyway. So we're coming back there. So we have country A producing 40,000 cars or can produce 40,000 cars or produce 20,000 lorries. Country B can produce 16,000 cars or 16,000 lorries. Now we have the options. They said, according to this table, what can be deduced from it? Both countries will not benefit from specialization and trade. What is specialization first?
It's the breaking down of tasks. It's the breaking down of production into tasks.
Specialization means there is individuals concentrate in one aspect of production.
Yeah.
That is specialization. So if there is specialization, Now, in the case study here, they said both countries will not benefit from specialization and trade. Both countries are producing a different opportunity cost. So they won't. Okay, now why is it not A? Let me ask you, why is it not A?
What does he say again? What does he even say?
Oh, NCB sent a message. NCB, sorry, your face. It's NCB sent a message. All right, so they won't benefit from the opportunity cost of producing both goods and services. So now let's talk about A. They said both countries will not benefit from specialization and trade. Why?
Because
Why is it not A?
it's not A because
Specialization will only come. They will benefit from best specialization. The only time they won't benefit from specialization if they have the same opportunity cost of producing. So if they have the same opportunity cost of producing the same level of goods, there won't be any reason for them to they won't benefit from specialization.
Yeah.
But here they won't only benefit for specialization if the opportunity cost of producing both goods are the same. But the opportunity cost of producing both goods are not the same. So they will definitely benefit from specialization because specialization is the concentration of individuals, concentration of a country, concentration of a region, concentration of a firm on one aspect of production. So if you have a lower opportunity cost of producing product A than what I produce, then you will benefit from specialization. So it's not A. Now, why is it not B? Country A has a comparative advantage over country B in the production of cars and lorries.
No,
Why?
because country A, like
What is comparative advantage? What's comparative advantage, please?
like an advantage you have in factors of production and compared to another country.
No. There's comparative advantage if you have a lower opportunity cost of producing certain product than other countries. That is comparative advantage. Comparative advantage comes with low opportunity cost. But there is absolute advantage when you have when you can produce more goods using the same resources as other countries. That is absolute advantage. You have to understand the difference between comparative advantage and absolute advantage.
Okay.
But in this situation, country A has comparative advantage over country B in the production of cars and lorries. We can't say it is not because country A does not have comparative advantage over country B as they don't have the same opportunity cost. They don't have the same opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Country A has opportunity cost in lorries. Country B has low opportunity cost in cars. So they don't have comparative advantage. Cars are different from lorries. So it is not B. Country B has an absolute advantage over country A in the production of cars and lorries. No. Country A has absolute advantage over country B in the production of both goods. Because absolute advantage refers to the ability to produce more goods or services using the same resources. That is absolute advantage. And there's comparative advantage if you have a low opportunity cost of producing a given level of product or at a given level of output. So country B has a lower opportunity cost of producing lorries. Yes, it's been noted here. So country B has lower opportunity cost of producing lorries, while country A has lower opportunity cost of producing cars. Because country B can produce the same level of cars using the same resources to produce cars and lorries. And that makes it the same level of opportunity cost. Do you get that?
Yeah.
That's question 6. Now question 7.
Are you gonna do a separate video?
Yes. Question 7. So question 6 is what? D.
Yeah.
Now go to question
I
7.
think this one needs a video though. I don't think this one needs a video. It's just addition.
It's just a question. Yes, I'll just explain it and that's all. It's even easy anyway. It's a bonus mark. Why are they giving 2 marks for just common sense thing? Most time, common sense is not common anyway. Okay. We have question 7A. That's easy. Let's go to 7B. That's where we have analysis. For question 7B, okay. So they said, okay. Question 7B said, with reference to figure 1, analyze the likely effects of inequality of the change in the global Gini coefficient from 2000 to 2014. Illustrate your answer with a Lorenz curve diagram. So what's a Lorenz curve?
It's a curve that shows the income inequality in an economy.
So this is a Lorentz curve. It's a graph that shows inequality between income and wealth regarding the population. That was the Lorentz curve. Lorentz curve. Okay. Now let's see what you did anyway. So there's perfect equality line. This is equality line. Okay. There's equality line. So let me try to draw a Lorentz curve here. So we have the Lorentz curve. So this is line of equality. Line of equality. Then we have, for the Lorentz curve, we have the line of equality, then we have closer to it, and we have this. So we can assume this is A and this is B. So this is moving closer to equality. This is far away from equality. This is far away from equality. So with Gini coefficient, this is 0. So for Gini coefficient, it's about 0 and 1, right?
Mhm.
Then yeah, we can call this income. And this is population. So based on the graph, we have, they said it's moved from 0.3. So I have to quickly go back to the extract. So the extract. According to the extract, there is to the extract. So you guys have to put your tree. So this is the Gini coefficient. It moved from 0.4 to 0.36 between 2000 to 2014. So what does that simply imply? It simply implies that the country is moving towards equality. It's far away from equality in 2000, but moving towards equality by 2014. So that's 2000 and 2014. So that takes us back to the graph. Go back to the graph. Okay, that takes us back to the graph. So this shows, according to the Gini coefficient, this is 2014, and this is 2000. So the country is moving towards equality by 2014. That is what Gini coefficient is about. So now move on. So that's about Gini coefficient. So he said here from 2000 to 2014, there was a decrease in income inequality in the world. So the new Lorentz curve is towards 2014. That's 2014, okay? Shows a higher proportion of total income earned by a given percentage of population at a lower income level, okay? So based on the graph anyway, for the Lorentz curve, it's simply talking about how the country, how the population is able to move from low income inequality, from high income inequality to low income inequality between 2000 and 2014. The rest goes down. So we have question 7C. Question 7C. Are you there? For question 7C, it's about, it said, explain what is meant by relative poverty. Relative poverty is a situation where individuals lack minimum amount of income needed in order to survive in the country in which they live in. Okay. So according to the extract A, 23% of the population in 1985 live in absolute poverty, whereas it is 30% in 2016. So relative poverty simply means individuals within an economy is living below the median, at the average rate of standard living within an economy. So that's fine, said, okay. So relative poverty occurs because an individual lack a minimum amount. Okay, that's good. So according to the extract, we have that 7% increase, right? In relative poverty between 1985 to 2016. So there's 7% increase between 1985 and 2016. That's relative poverty. Done. So go to question 7D. So for question 7D, they said with reference to extract A, examine two causes of income inequality within advanced economy. What is inequality? No, are we in session D now, right? Okay. So what is income inequality? What does income inequality
It's the
mean?
gap of earnings.
Gap between earnings.
Yeah,
Gap between earnings, okay? And
that separates a rich and a poor, basically.
okay, so if there's income inequality, what are the reasons why there could be income inequalities?
Discrimination.
Discrimination. And what's discrimination?
Discrimination is bias of treatment between genders, age, ethnicity.
Unfair treatment,
Yeah, bias
bias treatment of workers, individuals based
based on
on the basis of gender,
age,
age,
ethnicity,
ethnicity, religion, and what else? What also brings about inequality or discrimination? Globalization.
Yeah, I
I would
talked
say
about gender and age because they said two.
two causes, yeah.
Yeah, gender and age and technology.
Okay, so let's see. Income inequality is the gap of earnings that separate the rich and the poor. So when there's gap between the rich and the poor, there's income inequality. Or when the Gini coefficient is
Hi.
closer to
Yeah,
one,
close to one,
that is income inequality. Okay. So discrimination on gender and age could lead to a lack of opportunity and may result in lower wages for certain group of society. Women still earn only 0.84 for every $1 men earn. That's gender inequality,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Also, in general, older people earn
Um,
more than younger people. Age discrimination. Technology is often blamed for creating a skill premium
and wages.
in wages. Automation is so when you talk about wage differential, for me, I think wage differential is all about skilled and unskilled. So most of the time, there's positive discrimination anyway.
Yeah,
Discrimination can be
I
positive.
talked about it.
Okay, I will say. So I said technology is often blamed for creating. Okay, let me see.
Well, so for
A lot of notes, man. Low skill jobs have been replaced by machines. So this is causing growing wage differentials between skilled and unskilled workers. It also means that those individuals with educational advantage, for example, those with more years in education or attend schools with high quality teachers, particularly gain. However, positive discrimination increased financial return for certain groups through more employment, such as women. Despite high level of education, younger people and women still suffer low earnings. For younger people, it might be based on experience. Data may be inaccurate
you're
as
young.
income rises quickly. What?
You're young.
Too young. No, you're too young. You might have the same qualification as others, but as an older person, but experience also matters.
Yeah.
Government can include high quality education access. Government can reduce income inequality by investing in accessible education for all. This includes funding schools, improving teachers' quality, and providing scholarship or free education for low-income students. Better education. What about giving loans to low-income students?
No,
Loans.
I'm not a fan of loans.
Yeah, I'm a fan of loans. Okay.
Yeah, they still
But you have to pay back anyway.
Yeah,
Better education increases human capital, allowing individuals, I'm coming back to you, sorry, individuals to gain higher paying jobs, mobility. However, the impact is mostly long-term and it requires significant government spending, which means
what is it?
which may what strain public finance strain public finances. Providing healthcare, access to affordable healthcare reduces inequality by lowering costs for low income earners and keeping people healthy and able to work. However, government may find it expensive to fund, especially in countries with large population. Reducing discrimination. Laws promoting equal pay and equal opportunities help ensure people are paid based on ability rather than background, reducing income inequality. While these laws promote fairness, they can be difficult to enforce and may not fully dominate unconscious bias in hiring and promotion. Increasing minimum wage. Raising the minimum wage directly increases the income of lowest paid workers. helping reduce inequality. Okay. It can improve living standards and reduce poverty among working households. However, if set too high, there may be an increase in cost for businesses, leading to reduced hiring and job losses, especially for the low-skilled workers. Okay, great, great. Now, I need you to tell me about how globalization might bring about discrimination.
Okay, so
What is globalization first?
it's the connection of the whole world.
What?
It's like the connectivity of the whole world, the global market.
No, globalization is not the connection, it's interconnectedness, not connection. When you say it's connection of the whole world, no, there's interconnectedness. That is globalization. So there's interconnectedness of capital, know-how, goods and services, foreign exchange, currencies, and the rest. That is globalization. So how does globalization bring about discrimination?
So,
Yes, so help you God. Tell me, how does globalization bring about?
okay, so look, let's talk about low-skilled workers. They'd be they'd be competing against low-skilled workers across the world, and some of these low-skilled workers are have better advantages. Um,
Now, do you think globalization will bring about now with globalization? Do you think the demand for skilled workers would rise or fall?
um, I think rise. Maybe. Um,
When
um,
there's globalization, come, let's put it this way. When there's globalization, it simply means as a skilled person, I could as well come to Libya to seek for employment. So globalization brings about accessibility of skilled workers and the demand for skilled workers more than the supply of skilled workers, or more than the demand for unskilled workers.
yeah.
Because globalization will bring about immigration. And immigration means movement of people into a country. And because people are moving into a country, what does that imply? It simply means the supply of labor would increase. And if the supply of labor is increasing, firms would rather employ skilled workers to fit in on even for unskilled jobs than to employ unskilled workers. And that brings about discrimination because firms will start using the word skilled versus unskilled. So because the supply of workers are increasing, skilled workers might make themselves available for unskilled jobs. What do we call that? Mismatch.
Mm,
Mismatch.
yeah.
Mismatch what?
Employment.
Underemployment, right?
Yeah.
Underemployment. So there's mismatch between jobs. So skilled workers might as well want an unskilled job because there's no other jobs available based on the inflow
Mm.
of workers. So globalization can also bring about discrimination. So on that note, we end today's lesson, and I'll see you again for question. We have question
8, 9,
9, and
and
10.
10.
Have this space. 8, 9, and 10. And